episode number 14 of Computer AF with Winston Maverick Ward. I am Anne Ahola Ward. We're related.
And I am John Boitnott. Look at the baby. Did
So
he eat enough food
Winston
yet?
just found the treats pouch that was on my desk and relieved me of a whole pouch full of treats used for training. So who's training who? You tell me.
Yeah, right. You're an easy mark. It's just so easy.
Well, how do I say no to this?
No, there's no way to say no.
I
Plus,
welcome
he deserves all the food in the world. You deserve all the food in the world forever, ever. Just eat it all the time.
Well, sometimes I'm like, I think I may have created a monster, especially like today at lunch when he was growling at me for my BLT. It's like, look,
Wow.
I get it, bacon.
Yeah,
But he had already gotten bacon at the drive-thru this morning when I was getting my coffee. We go to a drive-thru that gives bacon.
I'm sure, if I know there are cases where the drive-through people will sometimes give gifts to dogs that show up on a regular basis that, if for well-paying customers that are always reliable and friendly, et cetera,
Yeah, like OnlyFans for dogs.
Yeah.
But not in like a creepy way, in like a...
Yeah, in a rated G way.
Yeah, that's weird. So let's talk about your glitter... wood fort.
I look like I'm in a wooden glitter fort. You're in a jungle. How are you?
Honestly, it's like very tropical and very wooded right now. I'm impressed with us and our designs.
Yes.
And I honestly don't understand sort of how this came to be. I mean, I saw you set it up and I don't get how the roof of it works. Like explain it to us as the internet, the construction.
I'm thinking that the space in which I'm sitting is like a rhombus, perhaps, and that it goes boop and then has like an angular part of the roof before it then goes straight, perhaps. And that's what all that is right there.
Talk to me about the other edge. Does it maybe form like a parallelogram?
I think perhaps it does. There's definitely some kind of mathematical equation happening with my wooden glitter fort that I live in now. And it's a perfect place from which to do some bric-a-brac, which we were going to wait a bit to do. But
are we? I feel like we are bric-a-brac. I feel like you and I are human bric-a-brac, but that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
No, this is something to be encouraged in the children nowadays. The bric-a-brac quotient.
Absolutely, but I think it's actually news and not bric-a-brac. I know you are as excited as I was to see that Celine had performed.
Yes.
This is under news. This is hardcore news.
Yeah. Well, in my ongoing attempt to reach out to the 19-year-old I have a buddy who's 19 and he was, I'm like, Celine Dion sang. And he said, doesn't she always sing? And I'm like,
you don't understand her struggles.
She didn't sing for 4 years. She was very sick. What was she sick with? The stiff person syndrome. He said, are you joking with me? Because he didn't know that was a thing. I think a lot of people don't know it's a thing, but basically her muscles get so tense she can't move and it will break her ribs sometimes.
Horrific, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen the video. It looks really bad. I mean, it looks really difficult for her to deal with. So then she comes on and she delivers just as powerhouse of a performance as she's ever delivered in French. And that was his next issue, which was, but I don't understand what she's saying. I said, dude, you don't really need to know the words to kind of get the feel. Also, it's an Edith Piaf song. He's like, who's Edith Piaf? I'm like, okay, that's more understandable. She's from 100 years ago, but she's like France's biggest singer ever. And anyway, he ended up liking it, but he moved on to the next thing, which was like SZA or something, SZA. That's a woman, and she's an R&B singer.
Yeah, and the name of that lovely lady you sent me, I listened to her in the car. What was it? I feel like I sound old. It was like... Channing Tatum or something.
Chappell Roan. She's like
I enjoyed her stuff.
Lady Gaga. She is the new Lady Gaga for the kids nowadays. And
nice.
She's exploded in popularity, but it like I mentioned before, it hasn't even gotten to the point where she's headlining yet, but now she's starting to, and she's going to be headlining probably for the rest of her career. So we're at that very beginning stages of it. But the Gen Z, they really like her, and she is gay, and my 19-year-old friend is straight, and he doesn't care about the gay. And that, of course, back in my day was always a big issue. Oh no, they're gay, we can't like them. Well, that's not really an issue for the Gen Z, mostly.
Guess what, everybody? You liked someone that was gay. You may not have known it. You maybe secretly did. But everybody alive has liked someone gay, because whether they knew or didn't.
Any
That's
straight
just,
guy who liked David Bowie, ooh, you like someone gay. Well, he was queer, right? He's on the spectrum, mostly straight, maybe a little bit gay. That's what
to
David
say
Bowie.
that you have never liked anyone gay is to deny that you have ever liked anyone, because there are so many shades to it that it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even want to get into the ignorance of all that, but of people. But I do want to, however, talk about friend.com.
Yeah, let's move into the tech. Let's move into the part about the computers and the online and the
Well, we
AI
got to
and all
keep
that.
Winston up. We got to keep Winston engaged. He's falling asleep.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
friend.com, the
I
founder
put him
of
to sleep. Is that what you're saying? No, ready, go.
no,
Sorry.
it was probably the pocket full of treats that he got. There were, just so you're not concerned, internet, maybe 5 to 7 left.
Yeah.
I needed to
Oh,
refill.
okay.
It wasn't a whole pouch.
I thought it was
It
30
wasn't
of
a
them.
whole. It's a big pouch, but it was at the bottom of it, and he sensed it, and I guess wanted to
You went
get me to
rummaging
refill it
down in
faster.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's napping because he's had his snackies, but and
Snacky
also he's a dog,
for the
so they nap.
baby.
But
Yeah.
friend.com is a device that is an AI friend that you wear around your necklace. It's in pre-order, so it's actually available for $99. And there's a few things about it I found very exciting. Mainly that this founder raised $2.5 million and spent 1.8 of it buying friend.com.
Wow, it was that expensive. Wait, didn't you say that the website didn't even work for a
Well,
while?
that was when it was kind of first out. They fixed it, but the
Okay.
journalist who first wrote about it, it wasn't even working, and so it just was sort of like a post-apocalyptic thing. He's gotten that worked out, but again, you spent how much of your first raise, and he did it for marketing, and maybe he was right. We're talking about him.
Wait, right. Yeah.
Um,
How does it work? What, it talks to you? It's your
so
friend.
it talks to you, and then the other thing I was reading said that you basically, it texts you comments about what's around you.
Okay.
So it's an AI friend. So to me, that means probably chatbot, spybot, probably creepy texter. Like, I have
Hmm.
enough things texting me at this point, like confirming appointments and
Yeah.
satisfaction surveys and random people trying to get money out of me. Like,
Dude, I
you
have
know,
people offering me
by people,
jobs.
I mean like,
Yeah.
scammers. But,
Yeah.
but
People in Malaysia who work in some descript office building in a jungle somewhere trying to get me to sign up for the social media job at the local company in order to get me to give them their information so they can, do whatever with it.
I've been getting a weird amount of text job offers lately too, and I'm like, I haven't indicated I want a job in a good 10 plus years, guys. I
Yeah.
made my own job, so I don't know what the play is here, other than just to like get in the press, which they were successful. The founder was successful in doing. Um,
Advertisements for things nearby, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bombarded with ads if it's commenting on things in real time. I don't know if the necklace is just a microphone, two-way microphone taking in information, whatever, but apparently it texts you comments. And, if those comments were funny or insightful, like, hey, there's a sale nearby on shoes. Oh, they have your size, which is a weird size. Or if it was, oh, you said you're snacky. Here's this. If it was useful, great. But I think it's just going to be creepy.
There's going to be a
But,
lot of creepiness to that. I don't
but
see the Gen Alpha and the Gen Zers. Their big thing is we better be real, keep it real. And that doesn't feel like
I
it.
don't think the internet is aware of that because of what's on it every day. But
That's
I do
true.
think that friend.com is another device. I mean, we saw Rabbit. We've seen a few others that there was the human pin. That didn't do very well. None of these have done well. And I think it's partially because nothing yet has really, other than like a Fitbit fitness tracker or the Aura ring that tracks your sleep, has really replaced the phone in terms of ease of use. I'm all for it. I would love to wear something that just kind of does things for me and I can talk to it and
Yeah.
things get done. I'd love to be like in a hands-free, not looking at a screen lifestyle, but I don't know that this is it. I do think we're going to see a lot more human companion, or I'm sorry, AI companionship apps and devices. I think this is a market that's only going to grow.
Right now, if the device is coming along or whatever it may be, the software, whatever it is, if it adds on to the stuff I'm already dealing with and makes it all harder because it's just adding on, no, that ain't it. You gotta give me something that alleviates, not adds.
Exactly. Reduce my cognitive load. Do not add to it. Add more sparkle to my glitter fort. Don't dull it.
Give me more fix Celine Dion's, ailments.
Yeah,
So
fix the issues plaguing Celine Dion in her health so that we can enjoy her concerts.
yeah,
Um,
give me that
but
started.
continuing in our
Yes,
so pre-order on friend.com if you're interested, $99.
yes.
I might actually just for giggles, but I'm fascinated by this one because of just the weird start of it. But I would say in the thrust of AI news this week, apparently Microsoft has filed papers with the SEC that claim they are a competitor to the SEC, or I'm sorry, a competitor to OpenAI.
They
And
might as well be
so,
a competitor to the SEC too at this point, for all I understand what's going on
yeah,
with
I
them.
mean, I think Microsoft trying to get in the headlines as having been, opposed to OpenAI is a nice distraction from the very public shit show of last week when that patch, the
That's
third party vendor patch, just rolled out
crowd
onto the
strike.
live production servers and took down billboards, systems, flights. So basically, I think all this headlines, these new headlines that cover, top story on TechCrunch about OpenAI and Microsoft now being competitors, I think that's just a distraction. I think they want us to forget
How can they be competitors when Microsoft is like the biggest
$13 billion
investor
in
in money?
investment. I think it's
And,
that, and they don't want to appear as a monopoly.
right.
It's probably an antitrust move. It's a legal maneuver and a press maneuver to try and make us forget what they did. I mean, I had a friend, so I knew two people close to me who were affected. One was one of my contractors. Her husband couldn't get home for a day, and two little kids. That matters, That's another day. And then they couldn't work because they were caring for two little kids. And then another a friend took almost 3 days to get home and had to spend the night all over the country. And he compared it to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is an amazing movie, and I recommend you watch it on Thanksgiving, as I do
Right.
every single
It's
year.
got the great John Candy speech in it.
Well, it's a really, truly Thanksgiving movie. There aren't a lot of them. They're all Christmas movies, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a true dedicated Thanksgiving movie. But anyway, as I rant, but I don't know. Were you affected at all by the outage?
Yeah. Yeah, over at Whole Foods, like half the staff couldn't log in, so they had to go back however many decades to the original thing where instead of clocking in with a computer, you have to like write it down on a piece of paper, turn in the piece of paper, and someone signs each one, and all that. So yeah, it knocked out all our systems as well. I mean, well, there was also the news in the last several days here that OpenAI is supposedly going to go bankrupt in the next several months. Like, I just don't know what's going on over there with these people. Is it? It just are these companies existing? Are they not existing? Are they friends? Are they foes? Does anyone know? It's almost like AI is making up the headlines about all of these different things and throwing them all out there. But anyway,
I
sorry.
don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. It's it's is the tail wagging the dog? Is the dog wagging the tail? I don't. Who knows anymore? I would
And then
say,
I was just
yeah.
going to say, and then there's the irony of the fact that the AI is being trained for free, not paying any money to Reddit or any of the other Forbes, any of the others. It's just getting all this information for free online, and like you've said in the past, these companies are just acting like it's God's right that they should be receiving all this information for free without paying, even though they should.
Well, the
So
one that we talked about recently that has had a big black eye in the press was Perplexity.
yeah,
And I keep looking for when they're rolling out ads because, I have AI clients. I would like them to be able to advertise in an AI search engine. Well, as it turns out, they went a different route, and I think it was a smart one. They actually announced this week that they are going to be doing like a revenue share with some of these bigger publications like Wall Street Journal. So they're actually going to, I think they're almost, I hate to say it, but they might be learning from their mistakes.
No. Well,
And trying to, I mean, this is a young company. They're trying to, I think,
yeah,
change the
that's
revenue
exciting.
models.
That's exciting. I mean, that as somebody who worked in the media a long time and who saw the death of radio, who saw the death of the way magazines used to be, who saw the death of many parts of social media, who has seen TV, I've seen all these industries just sort of slowly but surely go down the tubes because they don't have enough advertising revenue. So if this comes along and gives it the revenue, baby, that sounds fantastic,
Yes, exactly. I would love to see this reinvigorate journalism. I mean, I'm putting high
I
hopes
would
on
love
it.
to see it reinvigorate your little munchkin there. But he looks like he's just in the middle of a nap and you just disturbed him. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there was someone walking by outside that also did it because he's on patrol.
But
If you
anyway,
can't tell. Yeah.
What else were you saying about that? I feel like I
So
interrupted.
I think that the outage was just sort of maybe an eye opener to, bigger partners for them, like Delta. Delta came out this week and said, hey, you don't really read about Apple having these outages, sort of signaling that maybe some of their bigger customers might be. I mean, I think the airlines are probably looking at other options at this point. I mean, that was a pretty big screw up and a pretty high profile international one. So I think we could see some changes as a result of the Microsoft outage last week. But I mean, these things move slowly. These are big, big, big accounts. And, it's not a simple thing to move that level of operation. But I do think it's maybe a wake up call that don't let a third party roll out on production software, live software, a patch that hasn't obviously been tested.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was, but I mean, really, guys? Not nailing it.
One of the bases was not covered there, for sure.
I feel like the guy or the gal who should have been like leading the effort, maybe they were sick that week. And maybe they just let the AI do it.
And I mean, that reminds me of, what Taco Bell is trying to do is let the AI do it. Basically, their Yum Brands owns Taco Bell. I think I know for a fact that Yum Brands also owns A&W, which has really good hamburgers. They're not nearly as widespread, but they also own Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I guess what they want to do is they want to have the AI handle your orders at the drive-thru. So they announced that it will be expanding its own artificial intelligence voice technology dubbed Voice AI to hundreds of Taco Bell drive-thrus throughout the U.S. by the end of this year. And they say, Yum Brands is integrating digital and technology into all aspects of our business with exciting new capabilities, and AI is a core piece of the strategy. So I guess the AI is going to be taking the orders when you drive up. I mean, I don't know, just judging by Siri, how it doesn't get half of what I say sometimes. I mean, some of those orders get pretty complicated. I don't know if they would be able to get my chicken deluxe suprema with crema, right? I don't know.
Yeah, hold the tomatoes. Well, the thing is, when you really put that into practice, what does that mean? Is that just like ordering with an app that has a chat function? I mean, it's pretty loose what we're calling AI at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
Is it ordering on a kiosk that says nice things to you? I also read recently. Well, yeah. Hey, I'll take it. Any positive human interaction or non-human interaction, I'm going to take it. But also, very interestingly enough, I think that Taco Bell's doing a retirement home.
What?
A retirement community. I read. I could have been one of those things where it was a joke and I didn't really look too hard, but I was like, I'm going to look this up while we're talking.
You have to put on the glasses for this one.
I got to put on my glasses. I got to put on my cheaters. No, these aren't cheaters. These are my real glasses. But they're not like a bifocal.
You look like Tina Fey.
Oh, thank you.
Smart and sassy like Tina Fey. So
I wish I was a fraction as funny as her.
Oh, she's hilarious. Yeah.
But when you read things from certain companies like Taco Bell, you can't always tell if it's real or not because they've done so many.
They're owned by a company named Yum ! brands.
Oh my
So
God, they are. Taco Bell is opening an early retirement community for the old at heart. It's an
okay.
early retirement at the cantinas, a daytime oasis offering cross-generational leisure and senior-inspired recreation coming in San Diego this summer. Count
Oh,
me in.
really?
Count
Well,
me.
San Diego is one of the best places, man. San Diego
It
is great.
really is.
My dad always, he told me that he always wanted to live in San Diego because
It's beautiful.
he was in, yeah, he was in, he was in the Navy, and you had to do a bunch of West Coast cities before you went to Pearl Harbor, Japan, or whatever it was way back in the day. And it was San Francisco, and it was San Diego, and a few others. And he just loved the weather down there because it is really nice all year, more or less.
It is honestly one of the most beautiful places, full of nice people, amazing food. Definitely on my list of places to go if I have a choice of conferences. If it's there, I'm like, yes. That's always
Totally.
a yes.
Oh,
I
dude.
have
Yeah,
Bosco
it's
here,
great.
but I don't think you're too big,
Do you
baby,
ever
to
do
jump
that
up.
conference? Do you ever do that conference in Rancho Palos Verdes in Los Angeles anymore? Remember you went to that
Yeah,
conference?
I did one there. It was huge, but it was like, okay, Bosco wants to say hi, but he's too big. Sorry, baby.
He's a big doggy, yeah.
He's
He's
50
probably
pounds.
he's probably jealous he didn't get the
Here's
remaining
his
treats.
face. Here's his face.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, he's like, I heard there were snacks.
Yes, I was told there would be snacks. I was told there was cake. Anyway,
I love Office
I think
Space.
we've gotten into the bric-a-brac segment.
I think I was thinking it and feeling it, the vibe, and you just like went right for it because we're you know wanting to be respectful of everyone's time. We could talk for hours and hours, but we're trying a new shorter format of 30 minutes today. And we've only left ourselves a tight 8 to talk about that
Oh,
hot D.
well, we already covered the glorious Celine Dion, who was just fantastic, and
She's cross topic. She's breaking news,
the
bric-a-brac,
third
flim
time, if
flammery,
you
glamour.
yes, all of it. You owe it yourself to listen to that because I showed it to another friend. He's like 26, but he gets it. He loves Mariah Carey. He's not like one of these young guys who hates all the old good singers because they're old or whatever. He
Mm-hmm.
started crying. Like he was like, I started watching it and I started crying right away. So then right when I got to the third time, I just started crying. Not like bawling, but like, slow trickle teardrops kind of a thing. Hi.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I didn't cry, but I did feel some feelings. I definitely
Yes.
was like, I was more just happy to see someone triumph over what's obviously a very painful and
Yeah.
debilitating disease with all of her resources and all the riches.
Yes.
Your health can be compromised at any time. So it's just sort of almost humbling too. But
Well, they put her on the freaking Eiffel Tower. The production of it was really impressive too. It was sort of like, okay, I get it. It makes you stand up and take
yeah.
notice.
I mean, it wasn't like a casual sweatpants situation. It was like a.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that reminds me
The
of
Olympics.
our women's gymnastics team. Whoa, the most expensive uniforms of all
I need to
time.
I need to see it because I haven't looked. I know that happened just in the last couple of days. I know they
Fifth,
won everything. They did
well,
amazing.
Simone Biles, they were going to win everything, but 50,000 Swarovski crystals, over
Wow.
50,000 in their uniforms, the most expensive Olympic uniforms I think ever.
Wow.
But they twinkled like just like your wooden fort, but even on
Even more
another
than my
level.
wooden fort
Yes,
that
yes.
I live
And
in
what's
now.
funny is that the twinkle part is like harder to see the way you have it oriented. I can see it on like behind one of your shoulders. Twinkle's right here. The twinkle's right here in your smile.
You
But
got me smiling today.
I think everyone on the internet can definitely agree that the women's gymnastics has been fantastic. I also think that the sharpshooter caught the internet's attention. The
Oh,
woman
what
who
was
with
that
the
about? You
glasses.
you said sharpshooter lady. I'm like, ooh, what's that about?
Well, I knew people like my team at work. They were like, "Yeah, we saw the meme." None of them knew what it was from, and I was like, "She was an Olympian, and just look at her, just." And I want to
Yeah.
get those glasses and be her for Halloween for sure.
I'm
Just
going to have to
cute.
look her up. I was wondering who that was, what that was when you mentioned that to me, I think yesterday, and I wanted to know, but just never bothered
I
to do it.
forgot her name, but I definitely don't think the internet's going to forget her anytime soon. That was pretty amazing.
Oh,
That
did you see Tom Daly knitting? Yeah,
yes,
Let me tell that one because
please
Tom
do.
Tom Daly was just sitting by the pool, knitting and looking all cute doing that. And then afterwards, he did like an Instagram update, and he's like, in his British accent, he's like, "Guys, I made a koozie for my medals so they don't get scratched." And he like this cute little knitted bag that he just put the medal in and everything. It was just the cutest thing, I thought.
That is cute. Just like the male gymnast who is the pommel horse guy,
Ooh.
the internet was taken with him too. I forget his name. He was like taking little naps in between, and like all he was doing was the pommel horse. He's like, I'm the pommel horse guy. And he would just nap sitting up in between without a care in the world.
Mm,
So good for him. And then there was this
pommel
swimmer.
horse.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm the pommel horse guy. I don't need to use all my energy. I'm just gonna hang. But the internet
Just
was
as long
taken
as
with
you know how
him
to
just
do the
napping.
pommel horse.
Yeah, just be up for the pommel horse. Everything else is
Yeah.
don't watch your teammates. Don't get a snack. Just rest.
Just yeah.
Um, and then there was the women's swimmer Casey. I forget her last name, but there were
Man, I
three of
need to
them that
really
finished the
watch
same
what's going on.
time. She didn't. She got fourth by 1/100th of a second.
Oh, really? I hate it when that happens.
1/100th, and this is I think her last year. She's
Uh,
been uh hardcore into this for a long time, and I feel like I haven't prepared properly by not remembering her name. Casey, it'll come to me. But she, like, can you imagine training that hard and being like, "This is my last Olympics,"
no.
and then 1/100th of a second? Like they had to
That's the
identify
Olympics,
it by
man.
video.
That's
Yeah,
the Olympics. Yeah. Once upon a time when I
yeah.
was younger, I wanted to, try and achieve that kind of thing in the rowing events. But I mean, there weren't that many lightweight rowing events in the Olympics, so it was kind of a pipe dream. But still, it was. You think about those things and you watch those things and you watch enough of it and you see that it's the glory of victory and the tragedy of defeat. That's the way it is for these high level sports. It comes to within hundreds of a second sometimes, and whether it's skiing or track and field or swimming, it sometimes comes down to that, and it's just it's a lot, especially when you spent your life trying to get there. You know.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's a lifetime commitment, and I have a lot of respect for anyone that is that dedicated to anything. Um, and I saw a funny tweet that was like, haven't seen one of these. I find it hard to imagine any of these athletes that does this is not also disciplined in other areas of their life. And I was like,
Oh,
that's a
totally.
good
Yeah.
point. I bet their
Yeah.
rooms are clean.
Yep. It's
You know what
Michael
is
Phelps
not.
had the
Oh,
cleanest bong ever. Anyway,
yeah, I bet. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna smoke this weed, but I'm gonna have the cleanest bong.
the vacuum
Like,
right
I
into it.
have to imagine that they're champions in every other aspect of their life because that's what we want to believe about Olympians. But I want to make sure we have adequate time for hot D.
Yeah, yeah,
Dragons,
yeah. Well,
dragons, 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 dragons.
just as an update, I did see Deadpool. Worth your time. Go watch. Lots of cameos. And then I've been watching Murders in the Building. Still watching that. Still in
Such a
season
good
one.
show.
It's a delight and
Total delight.
total delight. And then Hot D. We're on the episode 7 out of the 8 for this season. They are going to stop after 8. There is some key big giant stuff that would have happened in an episode 9 or 10 that they're just shoving it to the next season. So it's coming around. What are your thoughts?
I definitely needed you to help me understand. And again, spoilers. I'm just going to go ahead and say spoilers. If
Spoilers.
you haven't stayed up on it by this point in the week, you're not going to. You're watching
Yeah,
it later.
yeah.
But I did find that the Dragon Rider Star Search episode was entertaining in a lot of ways. You kind of knew Hugh the Hammer. You knew he
Yeah.
was gonna get it. You just knew
Uh-huh.
because of how much time they'd spent on him in their little hut and his whatever, and then his heartfelt
I mean,
story.
he's fully half Targaryen,
He's
and
got the
his
hair.
Yeah, he's this big, buff, beautiful dude. I mean, his mother was uh, a princess, full-blooded Targaryen princess. So he's half, maybe more than half. We don't know who the dad was because he didn't know his dad. He made sure of saying that. So I mean, his mom is basically a princess whose mom and dad were a queen and a king at the time, and had a little.
Jaharis, I think. Yeah.
Jaharis, yeah, okay, Jaharis. Jacaerys was, basically his cousin who ended up being the
I
king.
spent a lot of time on that family
Yep,
tree, and I had to ask you. It was like a tech support situation where I was like, "Tell
yep.
me who this is." Viserys,
I'm happy to do
Jaharis.
that.
It was good.
You know,
I
he's
feel
totally
like,
deserving.
and I feel like we are just getting to like the really good stuff, and of course, it's almost over. It's just
They are cutting away in sort of the end of the first third of the really good stuff, I would say. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen. It's going to happen in the third season. It's going to be good, bad, ugly, bloody.
do you
It's going
think
to
that
be,
this last episode is going to be longer? It has to be. I mean, those episodes are
yeah,
already pretty long.
hour and 20, hour and 10, something. And then they'll have, the credits, and then they'll have a 10-minute making, like this is what happened in this episode type thing. So it'll end up being like an hour and a half, maybe. I don't know, total of watch time.
Yeah,
But
I've already told the husband, like, we're going to have snacks ready. I'm going to make my tea before. We're
yeah,
going to have maybe a light dessert, some berries, some chocolate. It's going
it'll
to
be
be
a
like a,
delight.
yeah, there's going to be like a spread
There will
because
be
there will
no
be no
flimflammers.
interruptions. Yeah, you have to go to the bathroom, you just go. There's no pausing. Like, I also make it, the house dark
That's
because I
good.
like to
Cinematic.
enjoy. Well, yeah, you want to enjoy, like, because some of the scenes are so dark. I'm not going to go mess with my settings on my TV. Like, I want to
Yeah.
know I'm seeing everything as it was meant to be seen, which is like in a non-distracted environment. So, I honestly am very stoked for the finale, although also a little sad.
Yeah.
Um,
8 episodes is not quite enough for this, which is saying a lot since every one of the episodes has been about an hour long, and they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on this thing, and the production values are so high. And it's amazing that 8 hours of this stuff doesn't feel like nearly enough.
well, that's a testament to them, I guess.
Yeah, they're
You
doing a good
know,
job. I'll
they've
give it to
left
them.
us wanting more.
The Hugh Hammer getting the Bronze Fury Vermithor was some of the best TV I've seen in a while. It was just because
That
that
was
was
really
one big
special.
sequence. Yeah, it was one big sequence of just the dragon destroying pretty much everyone he could, and then this one guy comes along. But the thing is that guy is like about as Targaryen as it almost gets at that point. It was
He
his
vibed
dad.
Targaryen. Yeah, he vibed Targaryen ahead of time. I would also say that he Ulf, I kind
Yeah,
of felt like they were teeing it up for Ulf to get fried. But
yep,
again, someone they'd spent screen time on. And he
yep.
kind of had that, like, not the same look. So I was thinking, they're going to fry this guy. So they, good for them. They fooled me on this one. Um,
He has a nicer dragon, and her name is Silverwing, I think. And she was like, "Oh, I like you. I'm going to take care of you." Kind of a feel to that thing. And
yeah,
it
like
worked
she
out.
just, what did he step in, by the way? It was like, did he step
He's
on her egg?
he stepped. So what in the reviews that I have looked at online and
I
the
like that you
YouTube.
know.
Yeah, because I thought that too. I'm like, he did not just kill a baby dragon. The thing is those
You did
eggs
not
are
kill Baby
not really breakable. That's the thing and that's something a lot of people don't
It's
realize.
not
They
a
think those.
Fabergé.
Yeah, it's not a Fabergé. They are made of hard, scaly stuff. And if no dragon is ever born, because that happens a lot, then they harden into a cement rock with the skeleton of the baby dragon in there, never having broken out. Um, but
Well,
anyway,
to
yeah.
see
So
how
they're
that
really,
turns out, go watch Game of Thrones.
yeah, yeah. So but he didn't break an egg. It was the gooey stuff next to the egg, is what I
Okay,
was told.
that's,
With
I
that,
know,
we're
because
at
at
34
first I was
minutes.
like,
Yeah, I know. I thought
you
that
can't
too.
hurt the.
But then now I've learned since you can't break those things in general. Like a human accidentally stepping isn't strong enough to break a dragon egg.
There's
Too
your
hard
fact
and
check,
scary.
people.
Yes, this is what I'm here for. Your hot D tech support reporting live.
Oh my god,
Now,
that's so
Boitnott,
good.
back to you.
By the
Hot
way,
D.
we went like 8 minutes just on Hot D, but we are over our
Good.
time, our goal time of 30. We're trimming down.
We're
We're
trimming
respectful of
down.
your time.
We're shaping up. We're getting into fighting shape.
Exactly. We're paragons of discipline.
Paragons of disillusionment. No, I'm kidding.
It's fine.
Ah,
I'm fine with it.
well, we should probably wake me up before you go. We should probably go and feed those dogs because you're starving them. It's just sad.
I had to clean out the remnants of their treat pouch
Yeah,
for training. I love that it was for training. The trainer told
yeah.
my bigger dog's going through a training course, and that was his suggestion, was have these on the walk. So I've been taking it, but apparently I've gotten some feedback that maybe just treats all the time.
Yeah, pretty much just always have treats ready.
Just, yeah, I think that's really what the result of this lesson has been.
Just like you should always have computer AF ready at your boop.
Exactly.
Click. Yeah.
Smash that like button.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to gritdaily.com as well. Proudly sponsored by gritdaily.com.
Yes, thank you to our hosts, which we're amazed that you'll have us, but thank you guys.
Thank you, Jordan and Spencer. Have a lovely everything. And happy rest of the week to you.